Between what we've lived through and what our day jobs demand, we've spent some serious time researching neuroscience. The pattern we keep seeing is the way we think shapes the way we behave. And over time, those behaviors shape our outcomes, often before we even realize we've made a choice.
So in that research of neuroscience, it opened the door to neuroplasticity, habit loops, stress responses, microdecisions, all the brainy stuff that explains why just try harder is a trash strategy. In this lab, we're rewiring habits one experiment at a time.
Welcome to I² Lab. I heard a question this week, and it helped me reframe something I've been noodling on for a while. And I want to get your thoughts on it. Is there social pressure to not do the hard thing?
I feel like it depends. I feel like in some situations it's really easy to stick to your guns. We've talked about this before. Your convictions.
And maybe we should describe, what's the hard thing for you versus the hard thing for me versus somebody else?
My mind immediately went to you're with a group of people and you're ordering dinner or, but I mean, hard things could be, I feel like I have more individual pressure to not stick to the hard things than I do social pressure, but maybe I have to talk that through as well.
Say more on that. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's easier for me to talk myself out of, not ordering the broccoli because, man, that mac and cheese is really comforting. It's more in my own head.
So so you would just order the mac and cheese for you.
Because I want it.
You're not doing it for anybody else.
Yeah. I don't feel like anybody else would be
influencing that
or influencing that. But you never know. Just because you're in your own head doesn't mean that social pressures haven't influenced those thoughts. So you kind of have to walk it back a couple layers deeper. Why am I thinking that thought?
Is there social pressure to not do the hard thing?
What does it mean to you?
I feel like okay, let me back up a second. The most I hear around social pressure and doing the hard thing is around alcohol for a lot of people. I think that's especially for men. There's this camaraderie that comes with drinking. I think there's a connection there for men. Not that there isn't for women, so I don't want to discount that at all. But I personally have never been somebody who has drank a lot anyways. I don't really enjoy it. It's not something I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get out and let loose. I can let loose just fine without alcohol. I don't feel like I need that to have a good time. And maybe that's that rebel, a part of me that's like, I don't need that to have a good time. I'll show you that I can be completely sober and have just as much fun as you.
It's a control issue too.
It's a control issue for me, So
I can decide if I want to have fun or not.
Yeah, don't tell me to have a good time.
Yeah.
So for me, I have felt like I'm not a part of the group at times because I am not drinking, but if I'm not drinking for multiple reasons that I really don't enjoy it at the end of the day, that I, especially now in my 40s, I'm not getting as much sleep. I don't feel better the next day. I'm not okay by noon the next day anymore like I was in my 20s. There's the repercussions from drinking for me today are much bigger than they were even in my 20s, and I didn't even drink that much. So it's the sleep is interrupted like an insane amount. I don't think it's just me that I'm in my 40s. As a female, as you get older, your body's certainly metabolizing these things differently. So for me and alcohol, I don't even attribute it to weight gain or not maintaining my weight. It's more of how I feel.
Same.
I mean, it's like you might as well. It would be like me getting a paper cut. A paper cut.
Right.
I would rather take a bullet than have a paper cut on my fingers because they are so painful and they take a long time to heal seemingly. And then like every time you do this one task, you're irritating it because it's in that spot that you use over and over. You know, so it's like this constant reminder of this thing that's there. So for me, it's more like harmful.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing harm. So for me, there is a social pressure around that, but I also find these days when I'm out with coworkers or friends at a restaurant, which I don't do much of because I like to be able to control my food more than that. But when I do, I want to order quietly. I find that I don't want to, I was out this past week out at a restaurant with some coworkers, and I knew exactly what I was going to get. I looked at the menu the day before, knew I was going to get the grilled chicken with the grilled shrimp, and I was going to replace the fries with their side of broccoli. Perfect meal. Like, I know there's oils that, we could get into, like, there's a whole way we can go down there. But I always add canola oil to my logs because you don't know what it's fried in. So whatever, let's just add that in because that's just what it is. I remember thinking I was at the end of the table and the waitress was on the other side and it was loud. It was kind of like a bar environment. And I remember thinking, I really hope she comes over here so I could just tell her. Like I almost thought like I wanted to whisper it to her so the whole table didn't know what I was getting. And I don't know, I can't tell you that I sat there and thought, word for word, gosh, there's a social pressure here to not do the hard thing. But I'm wondering if that's how it's showing up for me. Like, I don't want to throw it in people's faces that I'm the disciplined one at the table. I'm doing air quotes when I say that because I actually don't feel like I'm a very highly disciplined person at all.
Did the thought go through your head of ordering something different?
No.
No.
Okay. I just didn't want to throw it in their faces that that's what I was ordering while everybody else is ordering loaded potato, fries or whatever, which there's nothing wrong with those things. And it's funny because the whole table never ate they only ate like 25% of their food. They probably ate as many calories as I did, if we're being honest. Maybe not. But I ate I licked my plate clean. I was done. And the broccoli was really good. It was cooked perfectly. Like, it wasn't overdone. It had this kind of like a lemony, buttery sauce on it. Or lemon butter, something on it. It wasn't just steamed broccoli, but it was very good. Yeah, and then the grilled chicken was grilled to perfection, and the shrimp came out on skewers, so it was grilled. Like, it was all very, very good. It was very good.
Was it a new group of people?
No.
I'm just trying to. Because everybody knows what you're doing.
I know, especially now. Like, it's very. They would be more shocked at that table if I was like, Give me the double stacked nachos with extra meat because I need the extra meat. Like, I think maybe they wouldn't, but I think they're so used to me, because it was the same group that I went out to the Italian restaurant with, and I got the
pasta and you got vegetables. I think is what you said.
I was like, there wasn't anything on the menu that was like come as is that I would want to order. So I asked for them to substitute the angel hair pasta with this lemon salmon with their side of steamed vegetables. Of course, they didn't bat an eye. They were completely fine. But that at that table just a month ago, there was this hush like, oh, she's so disciplined. So maybe I'm reacting to that.
Yeah, maybe that's stuck in your head the next time you're with the same group. That got brought up for you. I don't know. It seems like a social pressure, but it doesn't seem like a pressure that you can't handle or that you're not expecting.
I think I'm so far down the road with it that there is no other option. I'm not going to conform anymore.
Yeah.
That when I go in, I have made my decision that this is what I'm going to get, and I don't really waffle from there. Of course, all of the other things on the menu look good because you see the pictures and you smell the stuff as you walk in. And we did get appetizers on the table. There was fried pickle chips, and somebody got the loaded fries. I mean, I know what the fries taste like. They looked good.
Mm-hmm.
They looked good. What did we else did we get? We got somebody got this little mozzarella, like they weren't mozzarella sticks, but they were like little mozzarella balls, kind of bites.
Did you sample any of that stuff? No.
No, I did taste the ranch. I did have one pickle chip.
That's a must need.
But I was like, how's the ranch here? And she was like, no, it's pretty good. And I trusted this girl who was talking about the ranch being pretty good. So I was like, I'm going to try it then.
Yeah.
And I just had a pickle, a fried pickle. It was actually very, very good.
I'm trying to think of it in other forms too. Like if you're a mom and your kids are in sports and you're traveling every weekend and you're at the swim meet or whatever, volleyball, cheer, whatever it is. I'm thinking of a lot of coworkers that we have that are around those environments all the time.
Concession stands.
Yeah. You don't have a lot of options.
They're running from here to there.
Right.
And unless you really prepped your food, you're kind of at the mercy of what's on the way.
Right.
Not that you can't.
Or what your kids are willing to eat.
That's true.
I mean, that's a different kind of social pressure that's not intended, but
I mean, I could go through any, if you really want it though, I could, there's not a drive-through out there that I couldn't pick something different to eat.
Right.
And even McDonald's.
Yeah.
You can get any of their stuff without the bun. If not that the bun is a bad thing, but if you wanted to control something around the caloric intake of what you've got, there's Chick-fil-A, easy options. You know, I'd get the grilled chicken nuggets, and you can get the coleslaw, or you can get the mac and cheese. You know, there's always an option. Jimmy John's is a huge one. You could get the
lettuce wrap.
Yeah, the lettuce wrap is
So
amazing. So there's plenty of options as you're running around, but you have to decide that that's what you're going to do. But do you think there's a social pressure for those individuals? And this is just for everybody to think about too as they're listening to this. Do you feel... Have you never thought about it in that way? That's why the question was so
profound.
Yeah, profound or provocative, whatever. You know, it was just a different way to look at it. That we do. I think we have talked about social pressures before. But is there a social pressure to not do the hard thing, to not food prep, to not drink your water? Is there a pressure for me? Like, is me getting up and going to the bathroom every 45 minutes disruptive
to a meeting at work? Yeah.
So is there a pressure for me not to do that?
Right. That is, yeah. And I'm also thinking too of, there's that kind of situation. And then there's just marketing in general. I mean, you go to a restaurant, and I'm thinking of Chick-fil-A, and I just happen to know their number one, like their value meal number one. Like if you're like, I want your number one. That's how you're going to order it.
Is it
it's the fried chicken sandwich.
Oh, it's the chicken sandwich. Yeah.
It's
the original.
The original. And it's even called the original. So there is an interesting social pressure there when it comes to the way we market things and the way maybe they expect people to eat at their restaurant, or the way they expect people to order what is the most popular, when it's always placed at eye level, in the checkout lane.
That's
There's
true.
all kinds of little marketing gimmicks. Like, they put the candy low so kids can see it and they can reach for it. So there is a certain social pressure environment wise, I feel like.
There was this one experiment I remember. It was here. We watched it here, and it was I'm going to give you the premise. I'm going to get a bit of this wrong, but the environment was, I think it was a waiting room of some kind. I don't know if it was a doctor's office or what it was. Do you remember this?
I do.
So she smiled.
Yeah.
So it was an individual. Everybody else in the waiting room was in on it. They all knew what the experiment was. And this individual came in. I think they checked in, and then they sat down in the same waiting room everybody else was. And there's like maybe 10 people in the room, I would say, somewhere between 5 and 10. And one of them wasn't in on what was going to happen. There was there a bell or something?
A chime or a bell.
A chime or a bell or a ring of some kind that happened, and everybody stood up. So think of a room, 9 people stand up, and you're the person who just kind of, and it's videoed. So you're watching this individual's reaction and they're looking around like, what the hell? And then everybody sat down. So they stood up for, I don't know what, 10 seconds, maybe
it wasn't
5,
long.
10 seconds. It
Yeah.
wasn't long, but everybody did it. And then they sat down and that individual, I was like, I think they were looking at their phone or they were looking at a magazine or something. And they kind of looked up and looked around like, what the hell? And then everybody sat down. And then, a minute later, it did it again. And all 9 people stood up and that individual was still sitting down. I don't remember how many iterations it took.
Maybe twice.
Maybe
And then
twice.
they joined the group.
They stood up.
Yeah. And they just kind of, they looked around. They're like, okay, well, I guess this is what we're supposed to do.
And they didn't know why.
Yeah, they had no idea why.
But they wanted to conform.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is, and I'm sure there's more than just that, but there's classic research shows that people will even give the wrong answer just to align with a group.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what that experiment was showing, is that they didn't even know why they were doing it, but they did it. And then they introduced another person into the room that still didn't know what this would be like you walking in.
Yeah.
They didn't know that everybody was going to stand up.
It was a doctor's office, so people were slowly getting called back in to see the doctor.
Yeah.
So people who were in on it were exiting the room.
Yes.
And
That's
then
right.
New people were entering the room.
Yes. Who weren't in on this experiment,
Yes.
but they had witnessed the bell, the signal, the cue,
Yep.
and then everybody stood up. So that new person who was introduced that had been through 1 or 2 iterations, who now was standing when this chime went off or bell went off. And then there was another person that came in and I think it took a couple iterations and they started to stand. So then it ended up being the room only had maybe 2 of the original people that were in on it. And then there were 5 that weren't, that were now doing it, that were just conforming to this is what the social norm is. So I'm just going to do this to align with the group.
It got to a point where there were no original people in there at all.
I'm laughing.
Yeah, there were no original people who were in on it, but the whole room was still standing up when that bell rung.
And I'm like wiping my forehead because I'm not even sure what I would do.
I know. I remember when I first saw that video, and it's probably the questioner in me. I'm like, I would have just been like, this is stupid. I'm not standing up.
How many times
But
would you
I
have
don't know.
thought that though?
But I don't know. Yeah.
Or would you have asked somebody, why are you standing up?
I probably would have asked because the curiosity would have gotten the best of me. Like, why? Because I would have sat there and thought, I'm just imagining, what does standing up do when that chime rings?
And I might not have stood just to
safety?
rebel against.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that.
I would like to understand.
I would like to think that I wouldn't have conformed because of the rebel in me.
It's easier to say than do, though.
I know. It depends kind of
Yeah.
how much I wanted to buck the norm that day, I think. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I just want to conform to this situation.
Yeah, that's an interesting video to bring up.
I think there's this thought that I just don't want to stand out or I don't want to be judged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it's exactly I want to fit in. I don't know that, for me at least, I don't think. But is that any different than I just don't want to stand out, I guess?
It's just it's the other side of it, right? And it's a vicious circle.
Because
It's
by
like
not
a loop.
wanting to stand
Yeah.
out, you are wanting to
fitting
fit in.
Yeah, it's just the opposite end of it. You just don't.
I don't want to say it's because I don't want to fit in.
You're like, yeah, it's just because I don't want to stand out.
Yeah, it's
But-
exactly
But not
fitting
standing
in.
out is fitting in. I think it shows you, though, the importance of building an environment that supports what you're doing.
Yeah. I think it does because people will change behavior just to feel accepted.
Yeah.
So what is, and we've heard this before, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a deep breath and
Yeah.
exhaling because I think there has to be some excavation of how often you are hanging around certain people depending on what you really, really, really want to change around your behavior. And this all comes down to our behavior.
It does, yeah.
People change behavior just to feel accepted. What is the group you want to feel accepted in? What is the behavior you need to have to get to whatever you really want to do and be and exude out? What is that? That's the community, the group.
Yeah, which brings me to, so I was at a conference earlier this week and we heard Simon Sinek speak. He's an author, writes a lot of great books, and he defined community. And it stuck with me because I immediately thought of this group. So his definition of community was a group of people who agree to grow together. Grow being the, because actually the person that was interviewing him was like, oh, I love that. It's a group of people who agree to learn together. And Simon Sinek was like, no. It's a group of people who agree to grow together. So learning and growth could be considered two different things. Like growth in my mind is more of advancing and you're not just learning something, you're actually making a change. You're growing and you're becoming somebody else, that behavior change piece of it. So it immediately made me think of this group and what we're doing in the lab. Because
we're attempting to create an environment where it is normal to question what we're thinking.
Right.
Which means we're questioning our behavior ultimately, because how you think is how you ultimately act. And that comes out as your behaviors.
Yeah. And what you choose, what you do, who you hang out with. I mean, that all ties
It all compounds
together.
on
It
one
really
another.
does. It really, really does. And so I actually did a little research around the word community. Like what did it originally mean? Because you know how we're just like, we love the meaning of words.
Well, they do matter. It matters.
They matter. And the word community traces back to the Latin communitas, which comes from, it was the idea of something being common, shared, or held together, not just individually owned. So something common, shared, or held together, not individually owned. And I thought that was fascinating because at the root, community is not just a bunch of people who are near each other. They're actually participating in something shared. I thought that was cool, which we could be sharing in our growth, for example.
Yeah.
We're all agreeing to grow together. I just feel like that word has probably changed over time. We don't use, like, community is normally just people who hang out together, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting that the root cause of it was sharing in something.
It actually is. I could see how somebody could think learning would be there too.
Yeah. It was just interesting that Simon corrected him. He was like, no. It's grow together, which, yes, learning is growth, right?
It can be. It doesn't always equal growth.
So
I think that's where
it meant something more to him. Yes. Yeah.
Because we talk about in the Lead Foundations course that we teach, there's, is it a myth that we discuss where learning isn't from experience, alone. Am I getting that right?
Yes. You don't learn from experience alone. Or they say experience is the best teacher.
Yeah, experience is the best teacher
which is the myth itself, because you actually have to have, we've talked about this before, I think. It's that Kolb's experiential learning theory. You actually have to have theory behind it. It has to have meaning.
This one gets a lot of
people get testy about
people
this.
Get really, there's a few parts of the lead training where people are like, wait a minute, that's not true.
Yeah.
Which this is the best part of the course, in my opinion, is when we get the discourse around this, because then we get to learn from each other and hear how we're thinking, and then we can think how we're thinking and then hopefully work with it in a different way and change that, or at least be open to looking at it in a different way. So yeah, this one gets a lot of heat around it because, and I even, when I first took the course back in 2017, 2018, I was like, what, are you kidding me? Well, and this is kind of one that always comes up in this kind of way. look, when I was 5 years old, I touched the hot iron and I got hurt. I actually have a scar on my arm from when I touched the iron.
Mm-hmm.
How can you tell me I didn't learn from that experience?
Yeah.
But really, you didn't learn from the experience. It sounds like it's a play on words, but it actually is incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
You don't learn from experience alone. My experience, yes, I touched the hot iron, but
you had to reflect on it.
I had to
You
reflect.
Had to
Even though
understand
it could have been instantaneous. It could have all happened within that same 5 seconds. And then, yes, I did learn something.
Yeah.
And then the point is, okay, but did that teach you to not touch the hot stove?
Right. We do another example in class, and I'll just do it here. It's like we all experience that sound. Do we have any understanding of what just happened? Did we learn anything from it? Like if you didn't actually know what that sound was from, right? Similar to the beeping in the room, like they didn't learn anything from that. They stood when it beeped because they thought they had to.
Yeah.
They didn't understand, but they were doing something. They did experience something, but there was no knowledge brought from that. Like you actually have to have the theory behind it, and then you have to reflect on it to actually understand and learn something from it. It's an interesting concept when you break it down.
It makes sense. And it also starts to explain.
I have to fix my mic now. It's like all crooked because I hit it. Okay, there we go.
It also
just so everybody knows I hit my mic. That's what you learned.
It also starts to explain why we go around this mountain as many times as we do. Because, I mean, okay, what if I gave you the most perfect program to do? This is what you eat. And how many programs change over time? How many times has Weight Watchers changed over time, or other programs? And I know we learn new things through science, so some of this does need to change a little bit. But at the end of the day, if I gave you the most perfect program and then I asked you, how long would you be willing to stick with this program? That's the part that actually matters.
Yeah, it's not a lack of knowledge.
It's
not a knowledge problem because we know what food to eat. We know that movement matters. We know that sleep matters. We know that consistency matters. So information is not the problem.
Not necessarily. I think
some
a bit
maybe,
of it is.
Especially if you're newer if you haven't been around the mountain 1,000 times.
Look, this time, the thing that I learned this time was that snacking in between meals is detrimental to your insulin spikes. And that's when you can't tap into your fat stores when insulin is present to burn the fat that you want to do. That was new learning for me. I didn't, because how many times have we been told, oh, you just need a snack. You just need, yes, it's calories in, calories out. That's all it is. That is a big part of it. I'm not saying thermodynamics don't come into play here.
That's the how.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the how.
There is a part of that. Like, I'm not discounting learning new things and information and programs. I'm not discounting that. But you could be given the absolute most perfect program. And if you're only able to stick to it for 4 out of the 7 days every week, you're not really growing.
And you say things like, I can't stay on track, or I always have to stay, start over and all that stuff.
It's the weekend. I had a birthday party. I did this. I had the games I had to go to all weekend. For the girls, we were just running. It was just running around. It was crazy. It was hectic. It was stressful. I was tired. I mean, you name it. I could go on and on.
So the plan isn't necessarily the deepest issue.
No,
in that,
I would argue that it's probably it's the first thing we look to.
Right.
But at the end of the day, to sustain it, it's your behaviors around it and how consistent you can be with it. And then how open you are to looking at how you're thinking about these things. And where are you actually not doing the program? And then what kind of crap are you actually giving? Excuses around it are you giving? And it's not always, there is for sure situations and scenarios that are going to be harder than others to stick to the program, the plan, whatever it is that you're doing.
We've dabbled in saying it's an identity issue, and maybe we go into that more later because I think that's probably a huge topic to jump into, but it is your behavior. But I think if you're going to change your behavior permanently,
You have to
into
get to the
sticking.
identity level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is an identity issue.
I think to do the identity, I do want to do a series on identity because I think there's multiple layers to the identity that you have to unpack to really get to the sustainability of it, the lifelongness that you want to have. Because again, we don't have a weight loss problem. People can lose weight.
Yeah.
We can lose weight.
Yeah.
We can get your calories below what your maintenance would be, and you're going to lose weight. No matter, and even if you are snacking in between meals, you can still lose weight. You just won't lose it as fast, or you're not giving your body that ample time to rest and digest. Like, it's really just a pace concern about some of this learning and the getting this right and the macros here. Honestly, it really could be the difference of you losing 1.2 pounds this week or 1.8. Like, you're still going to lose weight if you're in a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
No matter if you have all these little intricacies about a program right or not.
Right. This makes me think of the, self-perception theory. We did a podcast on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's Daryl Bim, right?
Yep.
Daryl Bim, yeah. I feel like if you keep observing yourself, stopping and starting, or you said ending on the weekend, then you almost start to think, well, I guess that's who I am.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stick to it. And then that becomes your identity to a point.
And I think the identities, especially if we bring it back to the community and groups can actually lower effort depending on what group it is. So if your identity is so rooted in it, then it shouldn't be as hard. But there's this phenomenon called social loafing. Have you ever heard of that? Actually, this is new for me too.
Yeah, I haven't.
People exert less effort in groups than when alone. And I mean, that kind of depends who you are, because sometimes when I'm alone, then I could do all the things that I want to do that I don't want people to see that I'm doing around food. But typically, from an effort standpoint, people exert less effort in groups than when they're alone. Not because they're lazy, but because accountability drops and effort becomes less visible. I mean, the translation could be being surrounded by people who aren't pushing can lower your effort ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
If you aren't around people who are cognizant of I'm just making this part up, of their protein, it's a lot easier for me. So in the last program I was in, I was a part of the coaching group, and we had these coach trips. Do you know how easy it was to stay on plan, staying in a house full of coaches who nobody was bringing home chocolate cake and then eating it in front of people. It's just not what we did.
Right.
And it wasn't because we were trying to impress each other. It's just we went to the store all together, and we were like, what are we going to eat? I mean, if you're going to eat tacos, I'll eat tacos too. So let's just get a bunch of meat and let's whatever it was that we were doing. I'm just going to get, we got way too much food every time. Like, we had so much shit in that fridge at the end of the trip. It was good food. It was yogurt. It was eggs. And we were like, let's hard boil these eggs. We can take them on the plane.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and we'd had protein powder and yogurt all over the place. And, we weren't snacking in between meals. Like, we were sitting around the pool and just talking with our water bottles. And we'd had to pee every 5 minutes because that's what we were doing.
But it wasn't a big deal because everybody else was doing it.
Everybody else was doing it. Yeah. And I didn't feel like I had to lower my effort because of the people I was around. It's so easy to do that same thing around other people because it's what you're all doing. Now, if I was staying in a cabin with a bunch of girlfriends who all they were doing was grazing all day. We just had an individual in the group that she went to a cabin with a friend, and, she was prepping, and she's like, I know this is probably, because she's been there before with her, this is probably what we're going to typically do. So we were just kind of spitballing like what her strategy could be around some of that. If you know that's going to happen and that's something that you want, let's make it a part of the plan. Let's not make it this forbidden thing exactly. Let's just counteract that with what you're going to do in the first part of the day. Let's just, let's balance that out somehow, because that's coming. Let's not pretend we don't know it's coming.
But it takes so much more planning and so much more work.
And of course, it's easier for me just to not put the energy into going, okay, so I'm not going to do breakfast. I'm going to probably just eat my meal one around noon. And then I'm just going to have my water. I'm going to front load that. And that becomes easier over time because that's just what you do. That's just and that's where you're talking about that. And we can get to that level. That's like the scratching the surface of the identity. But you have to put in those reps to be able for it to start to even sort of become more a part of just what you do.
Because the brain loves consistency.
It loves it.
It loves it. And I feel like if you have, because it wants the beliefs, your behaviors, your self-concept, like it wants it all to make sense together. Because if it doesn't, that's where that cognitive dissonance comes in that we've talked about before. And if you see your group, now I'm kind of getting into this question a little bit more. Because if you're in a group that is constantly making other decisions,
of course it's going to be harder.
Yeah. Well, I think at the surface, it's more tempting, right? Because it's there, it's available.
And you have behaved with food in that way in the past. So that's already in that neural pathway is already in your brain.
Right. And it takes more willpower, more effort to say, that's not for me. Mm-hmm. It's not for me.
Okay, so let's paint a scenario. Let's say we're, our, right before we got married, what are they called? Bachelorette party.
I was going to say baby shower, and I was like, nope. That was a wedding shower. That was a wedding shower.
Our bachelorette party our idea was to go to a cabin in the woods with,
it was awesome.
Because we had a double wedding. So we were like, why wouldn't we do our bachelorette party together? If we wanted something different, we probably would have done something different.
We could have. Absolutely.
We rented a cabin down in Brown County and all the girls went. And at the time of course we wanted to fit in our wedding dress the following weekend, but we had Chick-fil-A nuggets. We had just a tray of Chick-fil-A nuggets.
I was like 100 Chick-fil-A or...
There was 10 of us maybe total.
8. No, 6.
Me, you.
And then I had 2 bridesmaids and you had 2 bridesmaids.
Okay, so 6 of us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not that many nuggets.
That's not that many at all.
That's not that many nuggets.
Yeah.
We actually, fun fact, we actually left to go down to the cabin and forgot to pick up the nuggets.
See, it was not a priority.
I mean, we were so pissed.
Yeah.
But luckily, one of my bridesmaids hadn't left Indy yet because Brown County isn't that far away, but it's far enough where I wouldn't have wanted to go back just for nuggets.
It's a good hour and a half.
We had pre-ordered these nuggets too. Yeah. Like we said we were going to pick them up by this time, 120. I think it was 120. Was it 120 nuggets? Something like that. It
was a lot of nuggets. To me, like 120 nuggets between 6 girls does not sound like enough.
I mean,
but there was other food.
There was other snacky
apparently
food.
We thought it was a ton of nuggets though at the time.
We were like, Elizabeth, you have to go by and pick up these nuggets.
They were so cold by the time they got down there.
We didn't care.
It was fine.
It was fine. But it was...
Anyways.
Where was I going with those nuggets?
Yeah.
That it's... Okay, so I'm painting the picture.
Yeah.
We're there. Let's say we weren't eating fried chicken nuggets at the time. Like we did. I don't think we had a lot. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
You're right. They were so cold that it wasn't like something that I was just like eating them nonstop all night.
It was a blessing.
It was a blessing. But if we were going to say, I'm not having any of those nuggets, but they smelled amazing and they were hot and all the sauces were there and everybody was laughing and having a good time as we're shoveling the nuggets into our mouths. If you are, hard things are especially vulnerable. People perform worse on difficult tasks in social settings. So if we were to say that's hard, saying no to those nuggets at a party that is for you to celebrate what's coming up for you, to not participate in that can seem like a hard thing. I think it's fair enough for me to say it would probably have been a hard thing for me.
And especially there's a social pressure to it too if somebody else bought those nuggets for you, or if somebody thought that, I thought these were your favorite nuggets.
Yeah,
why aren't you having any?
Yes, this was for you. This is a gift in a sense.
Yeah.
And hell, a gift in some cultures is like you do not turn down a gift.
You take it.
You take it.
Yeah.
So if something is uncomfortable, unfamiliar, or identity threatening, the group environment can actually suppress your effort. So I think that's why we just give into those social, like, I had planned on not having these. I actually ate before. I had grilled chicken and I had celery with a little bit of blue cheese dressing or whatever before. Like, I am full. I'm not even hungry at all. But I bet people find themselves having a few of those nuggets just to, I don't want to say just fit in. I think it's the group environment that's suppressing your effort.
Mm-hmm.
That you're like, oh, I'll just have a couple so I'm not standing out here, or that I'm not getting judged, or people aren't going to think I'm not into this in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a pressure not to do hard things? I think yes.
I think so too. Yeah. You brought me around to it.
Your questioner was saying no. My rebel was saying no.
Uh-huh.
And I think actually, though, when we look below the surface, it's not don't diet, don't work out. I think that's what I originally thought of when we first started this, that it's not that, but why are you being so strict? You don't need to do all that. You can have a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
One nugget isn't going to hurt you. Oh, live a little. Oh, because not eating this isn't living. I hate that one so much.
What is it? People walk around, they're like, I eat to live. And then I think our dad has even said this. He's like, I live to eat. Like he'll flip it around. And it's like,
he does actually.
Oh, don't say that.
I think it disguises itself too as concern, humor, and relatability.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of relatedness a lot because we like to be a part of a group. We like belonging, although we love autonomy too, right? But relatedness and being part of a tribe is really important.
It is.
It's very, very important.
It is. I mean, I think most people are not consciously pulling you backward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we become more open to learning and adapting and change if we are a part of that community, right?
I think ultimately even other people, and maybe could be us too, they're not consciously pulling you backward. They're protecting the norm of the group.
Yeah.
This is normal for you to eat these nuggets. This is normal for you to have the soda. This is normal for you to drink wine because we've always drank wine on Thursday together. They're protecting the norm of the group. So it's almost like you have to find how you still have a fit, a norm of the group. If I think of it more like that.
Yeah. I think if you ask yourself, what is the purpose of us getting together and drinking wine on Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the wine?
Yeah. No, it's not really.
Or is it getting together and having a conversation and sharing?
And we've even talked before that there's no reason you can't have some electrolytes in water that are flavored, even the color of the glass. I mean, you could throw a splash of cranberry juice in your water and put it in a wine glass. What would be the difference? If everybody thought you were drinking wine, but you were only drinking 5 calories worth of some sort of electrolyte in water, what would really be the difference for you? And I think maybe that might be the real question to ask. If I could present myself as if I'm still doing all the things that protect the norm of the group, would I care? And I think that answers the question. Is there pressure not to do the hard things? If because I found myself doing this too. So I have to say yes, because when I was out even now when I'm out with colleagues at dinner, I'll ask for sparkling water with lime in it, but can you put it in a glass that looks like I'm drinking, gin and tonic or something? Because I'm the DD, I'm the designated driver, but I still want to fit in.
You had an excuse.
I had an excuse, and I didn't want people to see that I wasn't drinking, just because I didn't want that to be a topic.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to throw it in their faces that I'm way better than them.
Over-explain. And, yeah. I just brushed right over that. I'm like, yeah, or over explain.
I'm so better than you because I am not drinking.
I had a moment the other day. I was in a meeting and I think it was National Donut Day.
Oh God.
And
when is it not national?
It's always National Donut Day.
Donut Day.
I was in the other building at work, and the building where all the younger people work, and they always have donuts sitting out. You know what building I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, our building.
Yeah. Oh no, this is the customer center. This is the old building.
Oh yeah, they do have a lot over
they
there.
Always have donuts sitting out, and we were in the. Actually, you were in this meeting for a minute. You came in and reported on the survey.
Oh yeah.
There was donuts sitting right outside that conference room, and everybody kept ignoring them. And we were on break, and somebody went out and they like grabbed a plate full to bring it back into the room.
Loser.
I know. And somebody grabbed a donut, and I kind of snapped because the person that grabbed the donut should not have grabbed the donut because I know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I said, forget what I said. I was like, well, you might as well let the donut kill you because you're going to die anyways. I think that's what I said.
Just pick out your nursing home now.
I kind of like, I think the social pressure of them, I don't know, something, I just snapped and I just made such a smart ass comment.
You made that donut taste terrible.
I know. I was like, I hope it tastes like ash. But I guess that's me in tough social situations. I'll just say something very uncomfortable. Humor. I guess I thought it was funny. I don't know.
Okay. So the more I'm sitting here and we're kind of other things are bubbling up for me.
Yeah.
That I'm like, okay, this actually is hitting way harder for me than I'm allowing it.
Which this is the inner work. This is good.
I know. So you guys are it's happening in real time.
Real time.
What I used to do when we're thinking of going to Mama Kroll's tonight. Mm-hmm. And well, we are. Yeah. You guys need to just decide if you're coming with us.
I have to tell my husband that we're going, and I haven't texted him yet.
It's not a long putt. Yeah. To be clear, when I first we still went. So Mama Kroll's is a part of my journey. We didn't stop going there. We didn't go there often, but and it's an Italian restaurant for those who are maybe just first hearing it for the first time. So I think the first blush could be, oh my God, that would be really hard to navigate. It's the easiest place to go for me, I think, because it's been a part of the journey so much, and I've associated it with, I go there and I get this, and this, and it's so easy. They don't bat an eye, and it's so delicious. But when on my weight loss mode journey, I wanted to be very precise and meticulous, and I would take my scale with me to restaurants. And I was very careful to get a scale that was about the size of my phone.
It was very small.
Like I could put it under my phone and you couldn't even see it. And I don't know if you were ever there when I was weighing my food.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would, the waiter would,
she's getting out her scale.
When waiter or people, I would get out the scale and I would it was almost like I had like heroin or something. I would like put it under my phone so people didn't know that I had a scale. Like, what's wrong with that girl that she has to weigh her food? That's what I would, like the stuff I would I remember making up in my head at the time. And like when the waiter would come by, I would like put it underneath the phone really quickly if I had it out. And Randy's like, just weigh your food. Nobody gives a crap. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, by the way. Nobody cares that you're
probably drawing more attention to it by hiding it. And then if you
just have it out.
Just own it.
The only people that would probably care about the scale would be people like me. If I was sitting at a table next to them, I would know what that person was doing. I'd be like, good for them. I'm not going to care. I would actually not think there's something wrong with that person because they have to weigh their food.
Right.
I would hide it. So I didn't want people to see that that's what I was doing. So I think this, in many environments, the unspoken norm is something that we have to get down to. And I think it is, don't track too consistently, because I didn't want people to see that I was really tracking my food that consistently, that meticulously. There's some reason I didn't want people to see that. So I think that's that unspoken norm that I'm just now kind of wrestling with.
Why do you think that is? Why would that matter?
It's different. No one else does it. I don't want to do something that other people aren't.
Tracking your food.
How many people have you ever seen weigh their food out at a restaurant?
Okay, weigh your food, yes. I'm sorry, I was thinking like logging it, like tracking it.
Oh, that, yeah. I actually do. I mean, I have a Mama Kroll's.
I was like, you still do that. I do that. Like, I feel like
I've been there so much that I have a recipe built in Lose It. That's Mama Corolla's. And if I get that one thing, then I literally just log that recipe and I know that's what I get.
Yeah.
Is it exactly 268 grams of chicken? It might be 250. It might be 275.
Yeah.
I'm okay with about a 50 to 100 calorie swing these days.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I have to be as precise, and my brain is okay with there being that much of a deviation these days. There are some brains, especially as you're starting out, that you do want to be meticulous because you need that calmingness of knowing exactly what you're putting in your body, because those brains early on can start to negotiate in ways that you just don't need that kind of noise.
Right.
I think it could also, an unspoken norm beyond don't track too consistently, don't be too disciplined. And I think that's where, when everyone's like, oh, she's so disciplined, don't be too disciplined. Because I'm like, guys, I'm always like, guys, I really am not.
It's almost like you defend yourself.
I think so.
I'm not that disciplined. And everyone's like, yes, you are.
I'm not. I'm doing it right now.
I know. You defend yourself
I'm not.
It's like being disciplined is a bad thing.
Discipline is low on my Clifton Strengths. It is like so low.
We do work in an environment though where most of the people that we are around are not disciplined. And that sounds terrible, but we work for a company that really we value and we pride ourselves on working in the gray and being able to be flexible and adaptable. And
maybe that's why I am too.
And you're just, I'm trying to like open this up for you because if you are around all these people all day long and we're like, I work in the gray and I'm flexible and I'm adaptable and I'm resilient and I can do da-da-da. I throw anything my way and I can handle it, which you are that person. Like you work here, you've worked here for a long time and so am I. But disciplined, the definition of that in my mind is opposite of that. It's so structured. It's so gnat's ass to the number.
I think of rigidity.
Yes. Rigid is what I'm thinking of too, which is not the same as being disciplined, but it can be so closely tied to it. It almost sounds, it has an essence of rigidity to it. When somebody says, oh, you're so disciplined, it almost is like a slur. Like you can't handle it. Kind of a comment.
Yeah, that's how I take it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the rebel in me that's like, screw you, I am not.
I can handle anything you throw at me. I'm not disciplined.
I actually have a whole thing I want to do on discipline.
Okay.
So I want to save some of this.
Okay.
I kind of want to say it, but
You're
I'm
like,
I
shut
think
up,
this will be a whole another
Yeah.
one. I think there's also the unspoken norm of just don't change too much. Don't change too much.
who you are. This
This is not you. You've really changed. I haven't really heard, maybe there's some undertone of that for me, but I need to.
Right. And I think most of us who are on the weight loss journey want to change, right? Like we, at least at first physically.
Yeah.
We at least think of it as an outward visible part. But I think it's important, I'm going to go back to this, that the weight loss and the change outwardly is just a byproduct.
100%.
What really is transforming is how we think, how we respond.
I know.
How we handle discomfort.
I know we come back to this, and I know people don't need to be
talking about it, but
people don't need to be taught things. They need to be reminded of things. And we've said this before. I do think the greatest difference between any two people that sustain this type of change is the way they think.
It's the greatest difference between any two people, period.
Is the way they think. And the only way you can change the way you think is to think about the way you have to think about how you're thinking, which is metacognition. And it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not.
So when someone does meal prep, when someone says no to food, when someone goes to bed early, when someone drinks the water and they have to pee every 5 minutes, I don't have to pee every 5 minutes, but it's an every 30 to 45 minute thing. When someone prioritizes their health, it does create some sort of social friction, I think. I think we've gotten to yes. The answer is yes for me. And I think another way this could come up, and I think this is where, let's bring it back to what you said at the beginning, as another unspoken norm could be, don't make others uncomfortable with your growth.
Yeah.
Because you're holding up a mirror in a sense to somebody, but I think it only affects people who actually think that they need to grow too and they're not.
Right.
So how dare you show me that you're growing when I'm not putting in that same effort.
I know that can hold a lot of people back. And I hate that because you shouldn't carry their baggage, you know? That's not your baggage to carry.
It's not. And that's when I said, I think there is some social excavating that might have to happen depending on who you're around and what that community that you're around and in is allowing.
It's so hard too, though, because you have family members who are not a part of this community. You have coworkers who are not a part, people who you interact with every day, who you love.
And none of this is being done maliciously.
No. And you're not just going to be like, you're no longer part of my community. Bye.
It's biologically happening. There's just this like, hey, this group just subtly is trying to normalize average behavior, reduce discomfort, bring you back into alignment, which is what they know.
Yep.
The growth almost always requires breaking the social norm you're currently in, especially in the U.S. And we could go into, we're almost at an hour now, but there's something happening now. I don't know if you've been on social media. You don't get on social media.
I never get on social media. Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun right now because of the World Cup that's happening. There's this huge algorithm that's out there that if you get on it, all you're seeing is Europeans who have come to this country to experience the World Cup who are experiencing America.
I have heard this on the news.
Okay.
So I sound so old, but yeah.
I heard it on the news.
They're like, they're going to not White Castle, sorry. They're going to
Waffle House.
Waffle House, yeah. And they've discovered ranch.
I'm telling you, have you seen the TSA?
Yes, I did see that. They were like, if you're here from a foreign country and you happen to discover ranch, please remember to put it in your checked luggage.
Do not try to bring ranch. People, they're bringing full bottles of ranch. It's Hidden Valley Ranch, by the way.
Did you see that Kraft came up with a small little packets of ranch that they can carry on, and it's even in a little quart-sized bag.
The dry mix though, and just take that with you, people.
It's actually better, guys.
It's
just
way better.
Yeah.
Then you could put it in.
I think it's adorable though. I mean, they're like so in love with all the normal things. There was a video of a guy, I think he was from the UK, and he found a yellow school bus.
Oh, yes.
Did you see
He's like,
this?
I'm on the school bus. He goes, I have to see
it's like it's from the movies.
They all say it's from the movies.
I know. He was like screaming and squealing. And he was like, I'm on the bus because it was open.
And I'm like, it's a school bus. Like we rode those things every day.
But it's really cute because
we're seeing it through their eyes, and it's bringing a love to our community.
Right.
In a way that we're seeing it through the eyes of somebody who doesn't experience this kind of thing every day. By the way, they do not have ranch over in Europe at all.
And it's helping us realize how special it is.
Yes.
We forget, we take advantage of it.
I highly recommend, maybe you set a timer, but watching it, it's healing.
Yeah.
I think because they're bombarded with propaganda about the
so
U.S.
Are we. Yeah.
And so they have in their minds that they're coming to a country to experience the World Cup, but they're not going to be safe. They better not go out to these types of things. There was a couple that I'm following them now. They're from Europe. I don't know what country. I think they might be from the UK. And they brought their 2 5-year-old kids, and they were warned multiple times, like almost threatened by their community, by their family members, to not bring their kids over here, that it was not going to be safe, that ICE is going to be everywhere, and that all of the social propaganda that I don't even know what they're bombarded with.
Yeah.
I know what we see, and we're already down on ourselves. We're hard.
It's a version of that.
There's a part of me that doesn't want to say I'm American when I'm over in Prague or other countries.
And I hate that.
I hate that. But now it's bringing up people who live here, who are from Europe, who have come over here. There's this, she's from the UK and she's lived here for 3 years in Boston. And she goes, I've actually not wanted to say how happy I am because I am an American citizen now, that I live in the US. And now I'm just feel like I can now. Like she didn't feel like she could even say how happy she's been because she moved here.
Pressure.
Conformity.
Yep.
I mean, it's I didn't think we would go here, but it's the perfect example of now we're seeing our own place that we experience every day through new eyes, through eyes that don't see this kind of stuff every day. Yeah, they're going to Walmart. One guy went to Costco and he was like, you could just come here and live your life. Your life is, you can live your life here.
I do live my life there every weekend.
I do too.
It's a wonderful place.
He's like, $5 for a whole chicken. Like, this is amazing. And they're experiencing art. And they're not even going to fancy places. They're going to Waffle House. And they're going to Texas Roadhouse. And
Taco Bell was one of them.
Taco Bell was one of them.
Yeah.
There's the Japanese are in Dallas. And they're actually taking trash bags with them to clean up the stadium. And they're talking about their experience of a Mexican restaurant where they sat down and all of a sudden there are chips and salsa. And he's like, we haven't done anything to deserve. Like he was like,
how much is this?
Yeah. They're like, we haven't even proven that we can pay for that. Like he's just like they're writing about this thing. I highly recommend going on, and I don't think it'll last forever. Like this is only through the mid of July, I think, July 19th or 17th, something like that.
Yeah.
It's one individual was like, what are we going to do when they all leave? It's like, she's like, it's like when you went to grandmama's house and all your cousins came too and she lets you eat everything because she don't care. She's like, they're here eating all the stuff and experiencing all the things. And what are we going to do when our cousins leave?
I love that.
I mean, I've never wanted to be in Boston so much with the Tartan Army as I want to now to experience the energy. And
they drank them out of beer. I
know. Did you hear about the Hennessy bar?
Yes.
The Hennessy bar has been out of beer. They're getting replenished every day, but their sales on one Thursday night was triple St. Patrick's Day sales.
Amazing.
I guess there's a liquor store next or close to that Hennessy bar in Boston. And one female went in there and ordered 2 bottles of water. She got 2 bottles of water at a liquor store. And 20 Scottish guys booed her who were in the liquor store at the time because she got 2 bottles of water. I mean, the Scottish can drink. Let's be clear.
Oh, yeah.
But
you thought the Irish could in Boston.
Oh,
but apparently the Scottish
Irish are coming
them.
On going, no, we're scared of the Scottish. You guys should
hilarious. You guys should be. We're Scottish. But we're Irish too, but we also have Scottish.
It brings it back to community. I mean, the community you're around is really, I mean,
surround yourself with a community
that's you
like
can
that.
Grow in.
Yeah.
And you want to experience the energy of, growth almost always requires breaking the social norm you're currently in. The challenge isn't just doing hard things. That nobody's denying that doing this over and over again and waking up and getting the good sleep and then front loading your water at the beginning of the day and not eating snacks in between when everybody's, snacking. Nobody's saying that's not hard. It's doing hard things in an environment where that's not normal is what's really hard about it, I think.
Until next time, stay curious.
Keep experimenting.